So now that we've established your skills as a foundation, I want to move on to the next step, which is building a personal brand. There's nothing more impactful you could do in 2025 is building a brand. This is where a lot of barbers get stuck because they think that branding is about logos or aesthetics. It's way deeper than that. It's your story. It's why did you even start cutting hair in the first place? What brings your unique vibe or experience into your journey and makes it relatable and memorable? And a lot of clients don't just buy services, they buy into you. People, when they're in your chair, they used to tell me, Joel, at this point, I pay $200 for your haircuts because I don't see myself getting cut from any other barber. I feel safe in your chair. I know the results you're going to give me. And I just like the conversation we have. Same thing is true with your brand. Content is king as well. So if you're not showcasing your work online and your expertise and your personality, then you're leaving a lot on the table. Those people that were coming back to me were also coming back because they saw the image I put online and they're like, yeah, I really support what he's doing. I see his work ethic, how consistent he is with his brand, and I align with that. I admire that about him. So it was like not just the haircut. And so I need you to start posting everything that you've learned and acquired. You have to give it. If you read a lot of books, it's time to write one. If you've watched a lot of videos, it's time to record some. No matter what it is, tutorials, behind the scenes, client transformations. Of course, you're going to do all the things that helped you get clients as a barber, but now actually help other barbers who have done what you've done and show them why you're the best at what you do. And engagement also matters. So it's not just enough to post and ghost. A lot of you guys post and ghost, and genuinely, I need you to connect with your audience. There's a thing called transactional over relational, and I've seen a lot of barbers who have done this. They've built maybe 50,000, 20,000, 100,000 followers, but they did it in a way that was transactional. They didn't respond to comments. They didn't reply to DMs. They didn't go on Instagram Live. And so no one really connects the face to the brand. They just saw a bunch of viral videos, haircut videos, and that is transactional. But the more that you can be accessible to your audience, the more people can trust you, then they want to do business with you. Remember, they got to know you, like you, and trust you. So your personal brand is like a digital handshake. And I want you to make sure that your digital handshake leaves an impression. Now you got the skills and the brand. Now let's talk about scaling it up. A 7-figure brand doesn't happen by accident. You're going to need systems and skills in place in order to grow efficiently. So start by optimizing your client experience. From the moment that they book an appointment to the second that they leave your chair, every touch point should be smooth and memorable. Same thing is true for your online coaching business. From the moment that they book an appointment for a sales call, a discovery call, a game plan call, should be next level. It should be seamless to when they decide to join the program. For us, we have a welcome call. Someone joins the program and they immediately get a phone call. Hey, I just heard you made the greatest decision of your life to join Top Barbers. And then they get that same energy throughout the program. And you can use these tools like online booking systems and even loyalty programs to stand out. And you can build a team. The most important thing is that you can't do this alone. Whether it's hiring another barber to share the workload, and your coaching business, hiring an administrative assistant. We call those VAs, virtual assistants. I don't care if it's an appointment setter, a closer, a CSM. You want someone that's an assistant to handle all the administrative tasks, and delegating that frees you up to focus on high-level growth. And lastly, I need you to leverage your technology. Using social media analytics to track what content performs the best, and use that data to refine your strategy and invest in softwares that can manage your business better. Whether it's accounting, marketing, we have tracking for everything from our appointment setting to sales to client success. We use Asana for our client success. We use Go High Level. We use a lot of different ManyChat platforms that help us to keep track of our students, and systems are scalable. Remember that. Now, think beyond just a barber chair. Can you create an online program? Can you create a product line? Can you create something that's going to scale without your time? Online coaching business, the reason I'm so passionate is because it's a direct impact from your life to another, and there's no overhead. When someone buys your program, it's not like you have to pay the rent in your barbershop to get that money. It's a much different blueprint in 2025 to be successful as it was a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, definitely 10 years ago. So you have to catch up with the times or get left behind. You could even host in-person events, and I want you to diversify your income streams to hit those 7 figures. Have you seen a barber who's trading time for money who makes 7 figures? Unless you have, let me know, comment below. See, scaling isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter and multiplying your efforts. Next up is your network. This is a big one that I kind of avoided for a little while until I realized, like, I'm a small town kid in Ohio. I got to get out there and get mentors, get a better network. So I bought a one-way ticket to California, and that's what changed my life the most. Now, my mom cried because she was worried about me, but I was like, Mom, you don't understand. Like, if you want your son to live his actual life, this is what I have to do. I used to work at a telemarketing job, and I was in college studying classes I hated. I dropped out, I quit the job, and I went all in. I'm like, Mom, just give me some time. I'm going to figure this out. And figure it out, I did. So this is what I want you to realize, is that you won't get there alone. There's an old saying that your network is your net worth, and it's 100% true. So collaborate with other professionals, whether it's hairstylists, makeup artists, photographers, influencers. I don't care how you partner up with people, but you need to expand your reach and open up new opportunities. And tap into your existing existing client base, because you never know who's sitting in your chair. That person could be a business owner, an investor, or someone with connections that can elevate your brand. So just be genuine and build real relationships. Be valuable to these people, and don't be afraid to ask for introductions or advice. Being in the right place, in the right spaces, puts you in front of the right people. Plus, it's a chance to learn and stay ahead. Now, every relationship that you build has a potential to take your brand to the next level. So do not underestimate the power of connection. And finally, let's talk about mindset. One thing I'll say on this topic as well is that we have something that I call the Miami effect. It's really the law of exposure. And it just states that when you experience a certain level that another individual that you see as your peer has normalized, it makes your brain think, okay, that must mean it's possible for me. So my first time in Miami, I always talk about Vincent Fisher because he hit me up and said, bro, I got 2 supercars. We'll hit the gym. We'll go to eat. Like, let's kick it. And he picked me up in his drop top Dawn. And as he's rolling up to pick me up, the top is dropping. We're cruising, listening to music, tops down, riding through Brickell. We smoke cigars on the balcony and he's telling me about his journey. And I'm like, oh, damn, there's levels to this Miami life. And that set the tone for me. That really raised my standard. And I always did my best to get around those type of people. That's why I say it's very important. The power of connections. You have to be around those type of people. But before we get around those people, I need you to have the mindset. So you can have all the skills, branding, systems, and connections in the world, but without the right mindset, none of that's going to stick. So think big. If you're aiming for 100K a year, you'll never hit 1 million. You have to set an audacious goal and believe it's achievable. Your thoughts shape your reality. Now, that's a big point that I want to make. When I was on my journey of coaching, I never knew how I would make 100K a month. I was like, dang, bro, this is a heck of a skill to learn. But I wrote in a journal. I'm so happy and grateful now that I easily make $100,000 per month. And I'd wrote out my life exactly to a T. And it's really come together full circle at this point. I'm in a 48th floor high rise in Miami, in Brickell. My mom just now moved into her own apartment as of today. And that's made possible by the Most High. But my business made that happen. And I really just want you guys to realize that your life can change completely in less than a year if you have the correct opportunity vehicle. Not if you're in the wrong vehicle though. So you have to be the right driver and you have to be in the right vehicle and you have to go to the right destination, and you can only go to one destination at a time. Seneca says this. He said, one who knows not which port he sails, no wind is favorable. There's a lot of things you got to get correct, but if you do, anything is possible in less than a year. Now, with that said, I've seen a lot of people fall off within about 30, 60, 90 days. That's when the test days add up and we see who's really who. I need you to embrace failure and realize every mistake is a lesson. The most successful people aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who fail fast and keep going. So stay consistent, because building a 7-figure brand doesn't happen overnight. It's a marathon, not a sprint, just like Nipsey said. So I need you to show up every day, even when it feels hard or slow, and invest in yourself. Whether it's hiring a coach, taking courses, attending seminars, the more you grow, the more your brand will grow. You are a reflection of your business. I like to think about that as like some people will change the reflection when they should just change themselves. Once I changed myself from barber to coach, then the 100K a month was able to happen. But if I stay barber, how can I expect the mirror to reflect back millionaire if I'm doing a 6-figure a year income bracket skill set? I have to change for the mirror to change. And the mindset is the engine that drives everything else. So keep your mind sharp, keep it focused. I don't do no vices. We talk about no vice November. Shoot, for me, it's no vices for life. Think about it. What has drinking ever done for your life? Probably gave you some extra confidence so you could talk to that girl. Well, what if we just focus on building that in real life? I used to need to smoke to calm me down, to deal with stress. Now I just meditate. I used to need like all these substances to deal with whatever. It was because I didn't like my life. That's what vices are really for. People who drink and smoke, it's because there's something that they're running away from. And I need you to keep your mind sharp, and that's exactly how you do it. We drop the vices. We wake up at a certain time every day. We follow a macro diet. We read, we reflect, and we improve our life based off of a very simple habits. Like I said, keep your mind sharp, keep it focused. Barbers, your skills are the foundation of something much bigger. They're not just tools for cutting hair. That's all the point of this video is, to realize that I know you think that you're this big, but God has a plan for you that if you have the faith of even a mustard seed, you could move mountains. God has a plan for you that's way bigger. He laughs at our plans. I used to think I was just a barber and I was afraid to do this. My life changed so dramatically when I listened to that calling of my conscience. I felt called to help people from the day I picked up the clippers, but I avoided it. I was scared. scared. I didn't know how. I'm telling you right now, God is reaching his hand out to you and saying, if you listen to this calling that you know you have, I know you feel stuck behind the chair. I know you feel like you're called for more. I'm telling you right now that if you answer that calling, your life will change in ways you couldn't have imagined. And the keys to building that 7-figure brand all come when you listen to that voice. It's time to think bigger, work smarter, and take action. If you want me to personally help you to scale your barber business into a coaching business, starting and scaling to 7 figures, you don't have to make the same mistakes that I did or that my students were able to overcome. The Top Barbers process gives you a system and roadmap. So imagine having a step-by-step guide that takes all the guesswork out of growing your business, from pricing your services to finding high-value clients or having them find you, and scaling your business. Top Barbers, Top Coaches gives you the tools that you need to succeed. Having someone that's going to guide you and keep you on track will make all the difference. I'm talking about one-on-one calls. Make sure you don't butcher your own calls. Imagine you take your first few calls that could have made you $5K each. That's $20K, but you butcher them so you make zero. Well, if you invest in a coach, those 4 calls, you now got paid in full off each one. It makes investing in that coach irrelevant because you already made your money back. You don't have to do this alone. And in Top Barbers, I teach barbers how to become coaches and then charge what they're really worth and create a scalable income with systems so they can work smarter and not harder. So if you're ready to start your journey, hit the link in the description to either message me on Instagram or to join our school group. And I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, keep the faith.